What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks for joining me for week one. And we're going to get right into it this week. We're going to talk about basically the wins and losses. If you want to know who I think is going to win the spread, who I think is going to win the money line and the over and under, you got to come on Patreon. I'm only doing wins and losses here, just like last year. If you want me to go in depth, you got to go over there. And this is mostly for entertainment because, as you and I both know, the NFL is as fake as Campbell's soup. So the first game, I have it a little bit out of order from here because I got it from a different server. But the first game looks like Carolina versus Atlanta. This is going to be a good game. Two young quarterbacks going at it. The only problem is the first round and first overall pick, Bryce Young, is going to be playing. He's younger. He's brighter. He's faster. He's smarter. He's got a better arm. He's got a better offensive quarterback coach. He's got a better OC. And ultimately, I think he's got a better team. So, me, personally, I think Carolina's going to win this game. They're going to take Atlanta and beat them game one. Just because I think Bryce Young's going to do better than Desmond Ridder. And I also think Atlanta was favored. So I think Carolina's going to pull the upset over here. So I got Carolina winning. Next game we got Cincinnati versus Cleveland. Where is it on my schedule? Cincy, Cleveland. Where are you? There you are. Cincy versus Cleveland. I'm going to pick the Browns because if you look at the last 3 years or 2 years, the Bengals have started 0-3. I know I could be wrong. They might not do it again, but I think they will this time. So I'm going to take Cleveland Browns to win at home against the Bengals. And also, it'd be too easy to pick the Bengals because everybody picks the Bengals or the better team always because they think it's real. All right, the next game we got Jacksonville versus Indy. This is going to be a hard game to pick. I'd stay the hell away from it. You got a rookie quarterback playing against Trevor Lawrence. A no-brainer would tell you to pick Jacksonville all day long. The only problem is this is the NFL. And Jacksonville tends to struggle in Indianapolis. So I think it could happen again. It does not mean by any means do I think the Colts are better than the Jags. No, I do not think that. But the NFL, they follow a formula. It's a money-making formula. So which is why I'm going to pick Jacksonville. All right, next game we got Tampa Bay versus Minnesota. We got trouble in paradise. Mike Evans doesn't even want to be there no more. He does not want to receive catches from Baker Mayfield. I mean, I don't blame him. But is Kirk Cousins that much better? If you had an option as a coach to have Kirk Cousins or Baker Mayfield, who are you choosing? I know it's not going to take a second. I know you're going to have to think about it just a little bit. It's not something you can just say, oh, I want him or him. You got to think about that because they're both mediocre at best, if we're being nice. So with that, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I don't know which way to go yet. I'm kind of leaning towards Tampa Bay, but the only reason I'm not going to do it, actually, you know what? I'm picking Tampa Bay. You know why? Because everybody thinks that Minnesota is that team from last year, but really their defense is terrible, and I think Tampa Bay is going to come up with the upset. I could be wrong, but I don't care. I'm only picking wins, losses. I'm not picking who's covering. I already did that on Tuesday. So we going to pick Tampa to win. Where are they? I got it all out of order. Buccaneers. All right, next game. Tennessee versus New Orleans. This is going to be a decent game as well. You're going to have Derrick Henry running the ball right down their throats. Nothing they can do about it. They're just going to receive that running down their throats. But then New Orleans is going to be throwing it down their throats. So it's going to be David versus Goliath in a sense. But I think a lot of people is going to pick New Orleans to win this game. A lot of people. So that's why I think I'm going to pick the Titans. Not because I think they're better. Because I do think New Orleans is going to be a good team. They might win their division even. I think they could win their division. They got a quarterback. They got a running back. I mean, assuming he stays out of jail. They got 3-4 wideouts. They got a tight end, Taysom Hill, right? They got a good old line. The defense is formidable. I might have just talked myself out of this. But then again, Tennessee, they always bring it. They're that team that always hangs around. You never count them in, but you can't count them out. Which is why I'm going to pick Tennessee to win this game. And also, you got to think, it's week 1. So what do you struggle with most week 1, the first week of the year? What's easier to do, throw the ball or run the ball? The answer is the latter. Running the ball is way easier to do and way easier to catch hold of week 1. No games on hand. Not many snaps. Not many different plays being thrown at you. So that's why I'm picking them. No other reason. So next we got San Francisco versus Pittsburgh. And you know the entire country and grandmama is going to pick San Fran. So to me, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to pick the Steelers here. Everybody's going to be riding high. Everyone's literally closing their eyes and marking this game off as a win for San Francisco. You can't do that. That's not how this league works. And everybody's going to find out on Sunday, which is why I'm picking the Steelers to win. All right, now we got Arizona versus Washington. 2 stinkers going at it. But I think Washington stinks just a little bit less. Just a little bit less. Eric Bieniemy showing up there doesn't make them a contender all of a sudden. And if that does make up a contender, that should show you how fake this league is. They don't even have a top 20 quarterback. Like, are you kidding me? How you gonna muster up wins like that? Only way you can is if it's fake. And if it is, I'll be damned. And I am. But I'm picking Washington here. Are they back to the Washington team? Do they not have a name anymore? Did they take the commander's name out? I don't know. Alright, now we got Houston versus Baltimore. Let's think here. Houston, Baltimore. Yeah, I mean, Baltimore should be able to run right through them. You got the rookie quarterback. He's still spitting out Similac out of his mouth. So, I'm going to take Baltimore just because of that. I know it's almost too easy to pick them. The worst team versus a pretty decent team that made the playoffs. So, it's kind of... It's a trap game. So, just be weary about this game. Don't just think, oh, you got this in the bag and there's nothing the Texans can do about it. Just know that I'm picking Baltimore, but I'm still just like, I don't know. I'm just not that comfortable. But I'm going to do it anyway. Now, if I'm picking against the spread, I'm doing a whole different other thing, but that's a whole nother subject. You got to go on Patreon to find that out, boy. So now, we got Green Bay versus Chicago. Green Bay versus Chicago. I think a lot of people are going to count Green Bay out because A-Rod is out of there. But Jordan Love, we've seen him play, and that boy can play. If you think he can't, you don't know football. The boy is okay. He's not great. He's no Aaron Rodgers. I know. But he's an NFL quarterback who is capable in his own right. And we have seen glimpses and flashes of that. All right? So... Green Bay has a big, huge possibility to beat Chicago. But the problem is Chicago, they got a quarterback. So it's 2 young quarterbacks going at it. But Chicago, they also got running backs. They got 3 formidable wideouts that would start on anybody's team. They got a tight end. They got a decent O-line. So now they got no excuses to be shitty on offense. But then on defense, who do they got? That's the question. Are they going to be able to stop Green Bay? I don't know. Are they going to be able to stop anybody? Again, I don't know. But since I did pick Chicago earlier, this is why I'm going to pick Green Bay to win it. I don't think it's because Green Bay's better. I just think they're going to win week 1 because everybody's going to pick Chicago because they don't trust Green Bay. But then again, Justin Fields could go off on them. They could have him run around like crazy and do whatever the hell he wants. He's got those wideouts. You know what? I'm just going to pick Chicago because I think Chicago's just a better team. That's it. No other reason. And how long are they going to keep Chicago down for? You can't keep them down forever. I think they're going to start opening up a little bit because Justin Fields is very fun to watch. Jordan Love is not too bad either, guys. You're going to see that this kid on Green Bay, he can play a little bit. Little boy, he's nimble. He's got a good enough arm to get the ball where it needs to be. There's a reason they drafted him in the first round. They might have overreached, but there's a reason they did it, boys. Now we got Las Vegas versus Denver. This is a very tough game to pick because you don't know which way the NFL is going to go. Is it going to be Sean Payton or is it going to be Josh McDaniels? I mean, on paper, I would pick Denver, but the NFL ain't got shit to do with paper at all. So in this case, Las Vegas can come in there and whoop on them. It's a 4-25 game. You know what? I'm going to pick Denver. Just because Denver had such a terrible year last year. So did Las Vegas. But Las Vegas is still not as good. They do have Devontae. They got that Mayer tight end who they're really high on. They got a few players over there, but I don't trust their defense. They got no defense, really. They got a pass rush. I don't even think Chandler Jones is playing. So they only got Crosby on one side if Jones don't play. Other than that, what you got? What you got? So I'm going to pick Denver just because I think Sean Payton is going to scheme out a win and they want him to look good. And Russell Wilson, too. All right, next game. We got Philly versus New England. I think this is going to be a better game than people think. These all feel like trap games. I think that New England is going to have a lot of trouble with the Philadelphia pass rush. But at the same time, I think Philadelphia is going to struggle on offense because their offensive coordinator is not going to be there. It's going to be their head coach calling plays. And we've seen him call plays, and he is mediocre at best. And he will be the reason why Philadelphia does not win a championship. And he will also be the reason why New England wins this game. All right, next we got Miami versus the Chargers. Damn, this is going to be a good game. I think it's going to be high scoring. It's going to be two great play callers going at it. Mike McDaniel versus, what the hell's his name? The offensive coordinator from the Dallas Cowboys, Kellen Winslow, or Kellen Moore. That's his name, Kellen Moore. So Kellen Moore versus Mike McDaniel. You're going to see a lot of creativity. You're going to see a lot of innovation. You're going to see a lot of points on the board. At the end of the day, though, I think that Miami's going to lose because they're going to be down. I think Jalen Ramsey's out, right? So they're going to be down some CBs, and they're going to need all the CBs they can get, which is why I think the Chargers are going to get it done. But the thing is, Tua can easily light it up. At the same time, he can light it up, and at the same time, he can get knocked down and not get up again, which is why I'm a little wary about them. That's why the only reason I'm picking the Chargers is because I don't know if Tua is going to make it through a game. You don't know what game Tua is going to get hurt in. It's a matter of time. So picking him is like Russian roulette. So I'm going to pick the Chargers here, boys. All right. Now we got Los Angeles Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. Divisional game. I think everybody's going to pick Seattle right here. Seattle's a heavy favorite in this game, boys. But how long are they going to keep the Los Angeles Rams down? How long? How long could they possibly do this for? You really got to ask yourself, are they really going to keep him down for another year? Or are they going to be much improved with a different scheme? I think they're going to be much improved, boys. I'm going to pick the Rams to get this one done. All right, now we got Dallas versus New York. Do I like Dak or do I like Daniel Jones? For this game, I like Dak. And Dak's team is better through and through. But I like Brian Daboll more than Mike McCarthy, though. Brian Daboll knows how to scheme guys and how to really get up in there. McCarthy basically inherits a good team and just gets by. That's what he does. He's not anything special. He's not innovative. He's very old-fashioned. His plays are just old, so I just don't know. The Cowboys will go as far as Mike McCarthy, and Dak will take them. And I don't think it's going to be very far. And also, everybody's going to pick Dallas to win this game because on paper, they're much better than New York, which is why I'm going to pick the Giants to win this game. It's just too easy to pick the Cowboys. That's the only reason. No other reason. All right, next game, Buffalo versus New York. Now, I thought about this game, and I was thinking about Tom Brady. Remember back in the 2000s when he won from 01 to 04? And then there was a 10-year gap where the brother didn't win a damn thing. So, think about Aaron Rodgers. He won his Super Bowl 2010, 2011, guys. It's been over a decade since he's won anything. So I think he's due for one, guys. I think the NFL is going to let him win at least 2 Super Bowls. Should have 3, but I think they're going to let him win 2. Do I think it's going to be this year or next year? I think they have a chance to win this year, boys. I think they're going to have some injuries happen with the Chiefs, the Bengals. They already got Joe Burrow hurting with his knee. They're already playing that out right now. So all you need is Mahomes, guys to be hurt, Burrow to be hurt. And then the Jets are right in there. They can justify the Jets being a Super Bowl winner. So I think this could be a year where the Jets could win, guys. Will they win on Monday, though? I think they will because everybody's going to pick the Bills. Because everyone's still high on the Bills. You shouldn't be. Stephon isn't, so why should we? Stephon Diggs is basically done with the Bills. So why would I be on the Bills bandwagon? I'm going to pick the Jets here, boys. And that's how we're going to keep it. Come join me next week, week 2. And join me on Rumble to watch the highlights of all these games, boys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.